Alright, so for page 84, you already should have a pocket here, and I've got two examples that I'm going to do with you. You are going to need your calculator, so go ahead and get that out. I'm going to have you put these numbers into your calculator, make sure you get the same numbers as me. This is the two examples, so you'll notice that I actually ran out of room because of my spacing, so I would actually go up a little bit. If you write larger than me, you definitely need to go up a little bit, but if you write smaller than me, then you should be okay. Alright, so we were just talking about exponential growth versus exponential decay and some examples for that. So, example 1, you may need to pause the video to be able to write this, but here is example 1. It says a total of $12,000 invested at an annual interest rate of 9%. Find the balance after 5 years if you are compounding, and then I give you some examples here, or some options here. We're going to be compounding quarterly, monthly, yearly, and continuously. And so on page 83, the formula that I gave you for this compounding, I told you if it does not say continuously, you're going to use this formula, A equals P parentheses 1 plus R over N to the NT. And then because this last one, D, is compounding continuously, we're going to use A equals PE to the RT. So, in order to do A, you're going to take the 12,000, which is your initial amount, that's P, your principal. The interest rate at 9% is going to be turned into a decimal of 0.09, so that's going to replace this R right here. And then 5 years is going to be the time period, so that's going to be your T here. And then quarterly means that you're doing this 4 times per year, just like there's 4 quarters in a dollar. So N then is going to be 4. So when you plug all that into your calculator, go ahead and pause the video and do that now. You'll do that for quarterly, monthly, and yearly. Monthly, when you go to put it into your calculator, you'll use N equals 12 instead. And yearly, when you plug into your calculator, you'll plug in N equals 1. Once you have those three plugged into your calculator and evaluated, these are the values you should end up getting. So double check your answers against mine. The reason I'm having you plug it into your calculator because you want to make sure that you can use your calculator to be able to get these same numbers. If you plug it in just like this into your calculator and you do not put a parentheses around the 4 and the 5, you will actually end up getting the wrong answer. So when you go to use your caret key, you might want to put a parentheses right after the caret key, 4, and then times, and then 5, and then you can close your parentheses. If you don't want to have to put the parentheses in your exponent, you would just raise it to the 20th power. You'll get the same answer either way. So make sure to plug it in that you get the same answer as me. For compounding continuously, we have this formula instead. Some students call it PERT, that's fine. So we have PE to the RT. E is the value of 2.7, but you don't need to know that because your calculator will just go ahead and calculate it for you. You'll do the same thing. You'll plug in 0.09 for your R and then 5 for your T. And so when you plug that in, again, you'll have to have parentheses around the 0.09 and the 5 when you put it into your calculator after the caret key. And then you'll get this value here. And that's it for number 1. Easy peasy. Number 2. Says each hour the caffeine in your system decreases by about 12%. Starbucks claims that in a tall, which is a 12-ounce size drink of coffee, or any drink actually, is 12 ounces, they claim that their coffee has 260 milligrams of caffeine. And so the question says, how much caffeine will be in your system after 3 hours? So, for this one, the last two formulas that I gave you on page 83 was 1 plus R with a P in front, 1 plus R to the T, and 1 minus R to the T. So in this case, because it is decreasing each hour, I'm going to end up using 1 minus R raised to the T power for my formula. And so the initial amount in this case is 260. Parentheses 1 minus 0.12, parentheses, and then raise it to the third power. When I plug that into my calculator, I get about 177.18 milligrams of caffeine will be in my system after 3 hours. And that is it for page 84.